Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. I am Ijoma, and in today's video we are going to learn how to make this bodysuit lingerie corsets. Yes, this is a bodysuit, it's a lingerie. You can use it for bridal outfits and then a corset as well. So let's get straight to the point. From the top of the pattern paper, will come down by 10 inches. This is my bust point. My under bust is 13 inches. My half length is 17 inches. Then from the 17 inches, I will get my hip line. My hip line is 27 inches. If you don't want to use your hip line, from your half length, just come down by 5 inches or 6 inches. That is where your curve will start from, the pants, normal pants cut. But if you don't want to do it that way, mark your regular hip measurement. So before I commence, let me just extend these measurements I've taken already. I've taken the bust point measurements, the under bust measurements, the half length measurements. Then for chest line, my chest line is 2 inches above my bust point. 2 inches above my bust point is what I normally use as my chest line. And I'll go ahead and connect the line also. Now, I will label these lines to avoid confusion. This is chest line. This is bust point. This is under bust. This is half length. Now, let's continue with our bodysuit part, like the down part of this corset. From this half length, you can, like I said, you can decide to come down by 5 inches, but from my waist to my hip is 10 inches. So I measured 10 inches. From my half length, I came down by 10 inches. And that is my hip line. Now, you will start taking measurements as if you are making a trouser, okay? Now, from, when you're making a trouser, you measure your hip and then you get your crotch line. So this is my hip line. From my hip line, I will come down by 1.5 inch, and that is my crotch line. Crotch line differs. Some people, their own is 2, some people 2.5. It depends on how big they are. Then from that crotch line, I will also add an extra allowance that will cross like a pants. So I will come down by 1.5. But if you want, from your crotch line, you can come down by 2 inches. I hope you understand what I mean. From your hip, get your crotch. Then from your crotch, you add an extra 1.5 or 2 inches. This is what will cross in between your laps to meet the back of this corset. It is a bodysuit, and normally we pin it under, we pin it in between our thighs. Now, this is my crotch line, and then the other line will be for that pinning. Next thing is to take my shoulder measurements, my normal shoulder measurements, my armhole. Then for the neckline, I'll make it 3x3. This is for people that want to do normal neckline, that want to add a yoke, though my own corset will not have a yoke, but this is for people that want to add a yoke. Next thing after doing this is to take my bust measurements, no allowance. I will take my under bust measurement. I will take my half length. My half length, I will take my waist measurement divided by 4. Remember, this is a corset, so we are snatching it. I will do my waist divided by 4. My corset waist is 27 divided by 4, and I'll go ahead and connect, okay? Then on the hip line, you will also take your hip divided by 4. Now, if you want to add that to this, it is fine, but this is a dartless corset. I am making a dartless corset. But if you want to add a dart to it, you can also add a normal dart around the half length. So now I've taken my hip measurement divided by 4, and I will go ahead and make my connection. From my chest line, I will connect to my waist. From my waist, I will connect to my hip. So connecting to your hip before taking your pants curve is fine. It will make it easy for you. So get your hip measurement and do the connection. Now, at that button place, I will mark 1.5 inch. At that area that I will add the pin, I'll mark 1.5 inch. You can make it 1 inch, and I will connect it straight up to the crotch line. Then from the half length, I will come down by 5 inches. This is where I want my corset to stop at. I want my corset to stop at 5 inches below my half length. Now, once I get that 5 inches, I will connect it to meet the crotch line. You can see how I am curving it. You make it curvy just like you are making a pants. You connect it to the crotch line, to that place that you measured 1.5 inch around the crotch line. Now we have gotten our front. Now we'll cut it out, and like I said, we are making a dartless corset, a cupped corset. So what I will do now is that I will draft my cup separately, and once I am done drafting my cup, I will come back to this pattern and place that cup on it, then use it to trace out the area that we have the cup. I hope you understand what I mean by that. So now after cutting this out, with the help of it, I will cut out my back, and since it doesn't have a dart, it will actually make the job easy and faster for us. For the people that are doing this for the first time, I will advise you to do the dartless corset. All right, so now I am marking out zipper allowance, and that is 1.5. I'll label it as my zipper allowance. Okay, that is for the back. This corset that we are making, we have a zipper, and then it will have an inbuilt lacing. Now I will place the front on it. The only place that I'm going to add a little difference is at the full length. If you want, you can also do the zipper bulge intake at the center back. That is fine. But the only place that I will add a little difference is around this crotch line. The back will be 4 inches or 3 inches longer than the front. 4 or 3 inches longer than the front, and then the cut will cover our butts a little, our bum bum, it will cover it a little. So from the crotch line I went down by extra 4 inches. The reason why I did this is so that when I am pinning it, it will come over to the front instead of staying at the middle of my thigh. It will look as if it is coming over to the front. It will make pinning it easy. Now you can see how I am marking the curve. I am marking it in a way that it will cover my butt. It will cover my butt a little. Though I don't want my own to cover my butt so much, but I want it to cover my butt a little. So once I get close to my crotch area, I will start making it tiny. Okay, you will also repeat the same 1.5 inch you marked at the front crotch. So now we are going to cut this out. After cutting it out, I am going to do a little bulge manipulation at the back. I want to take out a little bulge because we did not dart this dress. So I will take out zipper bulge at the center back after cutting it out. So now we are done. Let's start with our bust drafting. So this is cup crafting. We are using cup crafting method, and my bust is small. I actually made this for me, but then I gave it to one of my students because she's taller and her body is thicker than mine. So get the midpoint of this paper. Just if you are confused about the size of the paper you should use, 10 by 10 or 10 by 12 should be enough for you. So my bust point is 10. I placed it on that midline. I placed my bust point on this line that I marked. Then I got my underbust, that is 13. I made it 13 and a half because 13 would be too small. Then my upper bust is 3 inches above my bust point. So my bust point is 10. My upper bust is 7. My under bust is 13 and a half. Those are the major lines that I marked here. So my upper bust is 3 inches above my bust point, and that is 7. Bust point is 10. Under bust is 13 and a half. So this is upper bust. The first thing that I'm going to do is to mark my dart line. My nipple to nipple is 3.5, and I marked it here, 3.5. Then I'll go ahead and mark a straight line down. The first dart that I will take is under bust dart, but before that, I am going to mark 1 inch away from this midpoint, 1 inch away from this midpoint, as if you are marking a cross. You can see how I marked 1 inch away from the center line. Then at the under bust, I took 1.5 on both sides, and all the dart connections that I'm making will stop on that 1 inch that I marked away from my mid line, from the middle line. Okay, so under bust I took 1.5. Then at the center front I will take 0.75, and the dart intake depends on the size of the bust. So I'm not taking up to 1 inch because of the size of the bust I'm working with. I don't want the cup to be too deep. Okay, I don't want the cup to be too deep. Now I'll go ahead and connect back to that 1 inch that I marked away from my midline. So from the under bust, I will connect to round up the cup, that particular cup, and that will be our number 2. Now it is time to get our side bust. So the side of my bust is 4 inches. From my nipple to the side of my bust of my breast is 4 inches. So I measured 4 inches from that line, and I also took 0.75 inch on both sides, and I'll go ahead and connect. So this is for a small bust. We have a different method for a bigger bust, different dart intake for a bigger bust. And I've also rounded up the other darts, the other cup. So number 2 is out, number 3 is out, and number 1 is out. So on the number 1, that is the upper part. Let me label them. At the upper part, at the side, I will come inside by 0.25. I don't want it to spread too much at the side, so I'll come in by 0.25. Another thing is that I want to give this a sweetheart shape. So from the upper bust line, I'll come down by half, and then on the side, I will go up by half and then curve it. You can see on the side of the upper bust, I went up by half. At the middle point, at the center front, I came down by half. I went up by half on the side. At the middle, I came up by half an inch at the side. At the middle, I came down by half an inch, and I'll go ahead and cut it out so that I can have a little sweetheart shape. I want it to curve a little. Then I'll also go ahead and cut out other pieces. Now, after cutting out other pieces, I will start closing them with my masking tape. You close it on paper so that you can use it to trace out your cup on the bodysuit that you have drafted already. I hope you guys are following. If you are confused, you can rewatch. So this is number 1, number 2, number 3. I will use masking tape to close everything. My tutor will help me with that. Now I am done closing that cup, and I will come to my paper. So I noticed that my paper is not aligning with that cup, so let me transfer all the lines I marked on this side of the paper so that the cup will align better. So I'll extend my half length under bust point, and then my chest line. So first of all, I will get this cup and place on it, and this cup is my size, though I went ahead to reduce it a little because I don't want it to be too big on me. I don't have breasts. So now, first of all, I will come in by 1 inch at the chest line, and then come down by 2 inches from the bust point, and I'll mark a V cut because I want my center front to have a V cut. Okay, I want it to have a V cut. So I've marked that V, and I will place this cup to be on my under bust. Make sure that it is resting on your under bust and the upper bust line is touching the chest line. So I'll go ahead and trace it out. And that is it. It's a very easy method. So after tracing it out, I will use my ruler to round up the line. So now I checked this cup. It is very fine, but then I wanted to reveal my cleavage a little. So I went ahead to trim it down. Like I went ahead to reduce it more so that my cleavage can show a little. So after reducing the upper parts of that breast cup, I will also retrace to be sure of what I want. Then I will go ahead and separate the cup pieces and start cutting. So if you want to add a yoke, after tracing out the top of this after tracing out this shape, you can see that our yoke is almost out. It's already out. Once you take out this paper at the top, your yoke is out. All right, so now that I reduced my cup, I will go ahead and retrace and then cut out. I'll go ahead and retrace it and then cut it out so that when I'm joining, it will fit into the space that I made for it. Okay. So now we are done, and you can see that two of them are now, the two chest line are now meeting each other at the side. So I trimmed off the back yoke also. So I will do my zipper intake. At the half length of the back, I will come up by 0.75. I will come down by 0.75. Then I will cut it out, more like I'm marking a dart at the half length. So I will cut it out and close it to avoid having too much bulge. So the intake you will do here is according to the size of the body you are working with. As for me, I am not that big, so I did not really do too much intake. So you can see that they are still equal at the side, but then the center back reduced a little. I will go ahead and close it with a masking tape. Now, the next thing that I am going to do now is to divide my back into two. So I'll get my nipple to nipple at the back. If you want to add that to this back, you can add it, but I did not. So I will divide my back into two. The reason why I am making my back two pieces is because I want to do inner lacing. So from this dart line, I will place a fabric inside that will carry our eyelet bar. So from the dart line, I made it, let's say 3 inches. From the dart line, I made it 2.5 or 3 inches. So this is I will cut this particular one now on fabric. The other one can be on my net or chantilly. Okay, it can be on the lace or the chantilly, but this particular one now that I labeled will carry the lacing bar. I will lace it inside and then zip it. So this lacing bar will enter the dart line of the back. It will start from the dart line of the back. It's more like you're making a modesty panel. So now I will start cutting out, and I'm adding just 0.5 inch. One thing about chantilly is that it expands, though not all of them, but most of them expand. So now I am cutting out. I will cut out my center front unfold, Then after that, I'll cut my back. So this is my back. I will divide it into two because this back will have a joining so that the lacing bar can enter in between that joining. So now this is for the cup. I will go ahead and remove the masking tape that I used to glue my cup, and I will cut them individually. So as you are cutting, please make sure to notch all your bust points, make sure you notch all of them so that you will not misplace your pieces when you are sewing. So after cutting on this, I will cut on crepe also, and crepe will also be my lining for this cup. I'll cut it on crepe, and then crepe will also be my lining. So now you can see that I am done cutting on my chantilly lace, and this is a transparent corset. All right, so I bought net. This is a normal net and it is not stretch, it's not too stretchy. So this normal net that I bought, I will go ahead and layer it 4 times, and that will be under the chantilly. I will layer that net 4 times and it will be under the chantilly. So now I want to cut out my lacing bar. This particular place that I am cutting out right now, I will cut it on a normal fabric because I will use it for lacing bar. Okay, I will cut it on crepe because of lacing bar. I will run bones on that crepe and then use it to fix my eyelets. And remember to add gum. I will also add gum to this, so you can see how I folded it. One side is unfold, then the rest I will add 1/2 inch on the other sides. Now after cutting that, the next thing that I am going to do is to cut out 1.5 inch pieces. This is my bone casing. I will use it to encase my bone. This is more like a master class on YouTube. This is a lot of information out here. Yeah, so I also want to remind you all that we have a fashion school in Lagos now. Yes, we have a fashion school in Lagos where we teach in detail, pattern drafting in detail, everything in detail. All the things you are seeing on YouTube is just tip of the iceberg. In our fashion school, we break down everything and we do proper pattern drafting in our school. So if you want to register with us, do well to send me a DM. So now I'll go ahead and cut out 1.5 inch lacing bar. I'll cut out a lot of it and I will stitch it and use it to encase my bone. After doing that, I will keep that aside and then cut out lining, and then I'll cut out 2 lining for my bra cup, the inner lining and the main lining that will be with the chantilly. I will do all of them on this crepe, and this crepe is not stretchy also. So I'll place everything. I'm pinning everything down, and this is 4 pieces. Number 2, 4 pieces. Number 3, 4 pieces. Number 1, 4 pieces, because it will be the main fabric, the main lining, and also the inner lining. Then after that, to the inner lining, I will add collar stay. To the main lining, I will add clothes gum. I hope you understand. So now that I am done cutting that, the next thing that I am going to do is to cut out the net. And like I said, I'm going to layer this net 4 times, so that our skin will not be too visible. So I'll go ahead and cut for the front, for the back, and for the pants pieces. Sorry, I'm calling it pants, but it is just to make us understand what I am talking about. Okay. So now this is the one that will carry the eyelet. So it will come in between these two. It will come in between the two center line. You can see it will be under. It will carry the eyelets, and the zipper will be on the main fabric. So guys, subscribe and click on the notification bell so that anytime I upload my second part, the second part of this tutorial, you will be notified. Also, registration for our online classes is ongoing. You can just send us a DM. We have about 24-25 online classes. Do well to subscribe.